we're looking at a different time horizon than much of esports today, which is I'm going to just buy the best player, buy an international player, just buy what I want now. An actual traditional athletics program in esports that also incorporates wellness, coaching, how to play as a team. That would be exciting. That has to be done through data, though, to be efficient and scale today.
Evil Geniuses has been using in-game data to build rosters for different teams for about 2 years now, if I have that correct. Yes. Since you all have started taking this approach, what have you first learned?
Using data and empirical measures to get even incrementally smarter around how to not just scout players, but also develop player talent is critical for us because it enables more creativity of coaches and analysts and veterans in the space, while also enabling efficiency of scale with automation and decision-making and operationalizing how we do esports athletics. I've been with EG 3 years now, and when I came in and asked the incumbent gaming leaders, okay, how do we add to the team? How do we replace a player? It was the same answer over and over. Ask the coach, they probably know someone. But that's only a piece of the puzzle. And so we've been using data, and we have just as many analysts and engineers as we do coaches with a mixture of scouts to help us find the markers of what makes a good player. Some of those might be in-game metrics. Some of those might be bioinformatics, like how do players' eye movement or heart rate or breathing rate respond in situations too, to help with resiliency training. And some of them are more experimental as we figure out what makes and what are good markers of best-in-class champions across all different titles.
So just to talk at the hypotheticals there, you're imagining a world where a coach could be watching a match happening at a championship, they have a tablet, and maybe one overall statistic that are coming in real-time data is some version of a percentage likelihood you're going to win that match, given how much the teams progress, given how much your opponents. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Live odds, predictive analytics, even in-game economies, like in first-person shooters, like when you have opportunity to strategize around how to spend for in-game items, we can be much smarter with data access that is live and mobile. That is completely new territory in the world of esports, where right now our data is printed booklets that our coaches bring to the stage. Imagine if we had access to tablets or live data feeds, or be able to be mobile on the road to make insights on the go, even if we're not in our office or our coaches aren't at their desk. Today in esports, the underbelly and the bad part is it's all kind of random based on who is spending the most. But if I could create, and my legacy at EG could be, that you're going to be trained to be a champion, that would be exciting. And I would say a lot of our success is based on, we got the unicorn. We have a classically trained Tesla and Google data scientist who turned Counter-Strike coach, Soham Chowdhury, who currently he's our director of athletics for Counter-Strike, who was able to be an anchor voice and had a long-term belief like myself in, yes, we should explore doing this differently. And so he's actually been one of my longest tenured employees since I came into EG, helped us really build our data operation and find best-in-class engineers to follow him.
In those 2 years, what lessons have you learned in building this out for the first time?
We overestimated the cultural willingness of coaches and players to utilize data.
When you're talking about whether or not coaches and players are receptive to the findings and takeaways, what does that look like? Like, what are the findings from the data?
A good tactical example is for League of Legends. We have tools that can help simulate pick ban probability and how we should thus draft. But that's not how anyone currently does pick ban. It's very much, what do we think the team's scrimming based on scrim practice, calculated bet around what's going to happen. And it doesn't take into account, especially in series, best of threes, best of fives, doesn't take into account information from the first game to help implement how do we strategize for the second. And also right today, what that means is you rely on a coach's intuition. And that's why coaches are so valuable in the sense of drafting, because we are completely reliant on them to be informed, whether subconsciously or consciously, in making these decisions. But adding now a data where now our coaches get booklets of, hey, here's what they played, here's scrim results, here's what they're picking and banning, and we can model and overlay that with what our players have practiced and what they have interest in. It gives more information for us to make an informed decision than just one source of information. And while that's tough, I would say culturally, our coaches, it can feel like it's a slight on someone's capabilities, right? Of like, hey, here's a computer that can do some of the stuff that you used to do. But we've been able to show through results and help make the coach's life easier, where now they're not spending 12 hours a week manually pulling information to help make those draft decisions. They're not having to overly lean on like live scrambling to integrate new facts, and we make their jobs more valuable because we give them a stronger foundation and safety net. The definition of who can be an esports coach also expands, where if in-game decision making can be, or positional tactics can be more automated and standardized, we can focus on other far historically underlooked areas, leadership skills, like true coaches from a how to build team culture, how to manage resiliency. It's hard to find the unicorn that can be all facets of a traditional sports coach, a people leader, a tactical positional knowledge. And now we have more opportunity when we've operationalized some of those functional needs, whether it's on our culture programs, our wellness trainings, or our benefits, or our data and automation.